have a minimum of matric certificate. It becomes a policy. It becomes part of the Municipal System Act that certain things are needed for one to become a municipal manager. It becomes constituted and becomes law. Then you are serious about it. But if you just talk about it in a political organization where, for example, you said Julius spoke about it, the starting point of Julius Malema is for him to then teach his members to behave and stop insulting people. Have a meaningful debate with people. You can disagree with a person, but let's start being at a place where when we debate, despite our disagreement, but we debate with maturity and we don't throw insults. I think that is the basis of where you can start with proper education. Then we can minimize these problems. So we are having a society here in our country full of everyone wanting to be a leader. And there must be a benchmark of how and what are the things that makes a leader. Right? Now, here in this country, you can wake up tomorrow and start a political organization and start telling people that you'll do this and do that. Everybody, it's for everyone. Also, we must look at that as well. Why do we have so many political organizations? Is there a thing that we can do to try and minimize the number of political organizations that we have? Because some of these organizations are done by people that are hungry. They are looking for a job, right? Because the state has not created a platform for us to have as many jobs so that people can be employed, and they see an opportunity that if I start a political organization, I'll be in council or I'll be in parliament, then I'll have a job. It's not that these people want to serve, right? So in other societies, people who are in government, they want to serve. They are not there for themselves.
You started this with MK Party, 2024. It's very difficult. We can't say the best year because this is their only year.
Yes.
What did they do right? Let's start with what did MK do right?
I think
we'll go to what they did.
I think it's ethnic mobilization first. We must never shy away from that.
I always say it's a positive, and they must not be tempted to deny that their strong point is their Zulu nationalism. Yes.
So the Zulu nationalism played a major role in this in the successes of MK, right? So that gave them an edge because they have managed to dominate KwaZulu-Natal at 45% in the provincial legislature. So it shows that the ethnic mobilizing themselves within ethnic line, have actually helped them to reach whatever that they've.
And it's not a negative way to say ethnic mobilization.
Yeah, it's not. But we have to be careful about it.
Yes, because it was unfortunately used by the media in the early 90s, whenever they were, on the brink of that civil war, because they call it ethnic mobilization. You are mobilizing people through the ethnicity, and it looked like it's a bad word, but it's not.
So that was the survival of the MK Party. That's how they got into. But they got into more problems when they started recruiting people that were not there during their campaign. The biggest mistake that most of these political organizations makes is that I campaign, work so hard, get a seat, and someone out of nowhere, because this thing is built, comes in and they want to be part of it. And then I'm removed and then so the mistake that the MK is making is the same mistake that EFF has constantly made. When a Jimmy Manyi comes and joins them, then suddenly Jimmy Manyi becomes a parliamentarian. A Ntskao and Gyan who work so hard, even using their last resources to try and get this thing, is not even recognized, right? So you recognize people on a celebrity sort of a level. People must be treated equally for organizations to survive and thrive. People in the ANC, they have managed to do things well. That's why the ANC has survived for a very long time. Whether you come with a status or not, you're not going to wake up tomorrow becoming something bigger or being taken to parliament. Yes, maybe they can deploy you in some parastatal to be a board member or if they see that you've got a skill that they will want to use. But they will not take you and they make you a parliamentarian. Because you need to understand, when I'm in a political organization, I understand the ideology of that political organization. I buy into that I've been cooked, with that organization to be at a state where I managed to even convince people to vote for this political organization. Then some guy comes from Norway, and previously this guy was even criticizing you guys. And then because he's got a status, you then put that guy and you remove people that have been loyal to you and you put this guy. It's the failure of MK, is the failure of the EFF in terms of their approach and in dealing. Also a failure of Patriotic Alliance as well. Because this organization have been doing these things. Removing members now and then, and there is no stability. You don't create stability, right? When you're a political organization, you create stability by having, when people are in council, they start and then they finish. Unless there is something extraordinary that they did that you had to remove them. But you put a person today as a councillor, tomorrow you wake up, you feel like, no, we're removing that person. ANC do not do that. You don't find ANC removing their members of parliament or legislatures or councillors like that. They serve, that's why they grow from being councillors, they become legislatures, and then they become members of parliament. And you can see the maturity in their politics and their approach in politics, because they understand they understand things from the council point of view, at the municipal level, at the provincial level, and at the national level, because they've never been disturbed to serve there. With this political organ, today you have been put here, they throw you there, they do all sorts of things, and there is no stability. It's like when you're running an organization, a company, and you're always changing employee. Do you think when you look at your market share at the end of the year, you'll make a profit? No, you won't. Because people are always learning in your organization. Because you put new people, they need to start and learn. Tomorrow you remove them after they've learned some things, you remove them, you put new people, and you have to start again with the learning process, teaching them and all of that. So I think the failure of MK will be these things of rewarding people that were not there with position in parliament and all of that. They need to really guard against that if they are to survive the politics of South Africa, because the politics of South Africa are extremely brutal.
I'm tempted to put in Tabazimbi, but I'll want to pack it very at the end because it happened in December. Let's talk about African National Congress.
Yeah.
They're 2024. They spend a lot of time fighting MK on, on issues that I thought they shouldn't be.
Yes.
Because, it was just going to happen anyway. And how did you think ANC fared for the 2024? What were the positive things and what were the losses?
The biggest mistake that they made was to give MK a platform by fighting MK. In fact, they should have just ignored that MK thing. The more ANC gave it attention, even people that had no interest started having interest. So you need to understand that from that. But like I said, the ANC problem is the secretariat problem. I can try to look into the ANC to try and see any positive. Is that when you go to Limpopo, you will always have majority of our people, because of the low level of literacy in Limpopo, will always give ANC a majority. You go to Eastern Cape as well. Our people in that province, always, as poor as they are, they will always give ANC the majority, right? But if you look at Mpumalanga, it's more literate than us in Limpopo.